A rose is a rose is a rose. Roses are arguably the world's favourite flower, and World Federation of Rose Society's Vice President Kelvin Trimper's amazing garden is living proof that our state is one of the best, if not the best, places to grow them. Kelvin, where did the passion to grow these roses come from?
Well, Michael, I was born with it. My late father, Eric Trimper from Renmark, grew roses with David Ruston, and I have been growing roses since I was knee-high and showing them.
Hey Kelvin, over the years I've seen some fantastic gardens around Adelaide, and this would have to be the best rose garden.
Well, thank you, Michael. We've worked hard on it for over 17 years and now have about 2,200 roses in it and about 1,900 different cultivars. When we started the garden, we decided we wanted to represent all the different groups of roses, from miniatures through to hybrid teas, old world roses, and through to the modern shrub roses like the David Austin roses.
Hey, some great ideas as you walk around, but the idea I love are the verticals.
Absolutely. Look, pillar roses are something that are featured often in European classic gardens, not often used in Australia, because when our forefathers came here, they had lots of space for roses. But as our gardens are getting smaller, pillars, I think, do have a place. They don't occupy much area, but they give you fantastic vertical colour for 9 months of the year.
Have you got a favourite?
Well, they're all favourites, Michael, but if you ask me what is the bulletproof rose for Adelaide, I would have to say Gold Bunny over here. Lots of colour, 9 months of the year, pest and disease resistant, quick repeat flowering. It's a cracker.
Pierre de Ronsard is truly magnificent growing on that arbour.
Yes, look, I think Pierre de Ronsard is a favourite of many in Adelaide. It grows very, very well here. A really eye-catching colour with that pink reverse to white petal, and very showy on an arch or a pillar or along a veranda.
I noticed you've mixed other plants in amongst your roses.
Absolutely. I think roses on their own can be a bit stale. Even though the roses obviously at this time of the year dominate, if you look beneath the roses or amongst the roses, you'll see iris, you'll see other perennials, Watsonias, bulbs for winter colour when the roses aren't in flower. So we think that's important to have colour all year round.
Well, Adelaide's often referred to as the rose capital of Australia. Is that really the case?
Well, Michael, if you wanted one place in the world to grow a rose, Adelaide would be the place. We have the perfect climate. Hot, dry, Mediterranean climate without any mildew problems caused by the humidity. We get lots of sunshine, which means our roses flower from early October right through to June. We can often get 6 flushes out of a rose plant in Australia. In England, they might get 2, maybe 3 in a really, really good year. I mean, that's why we're the envy of the world. And because of that, the world wants to come and look at Adelaide's roses, and they do.
Now, if someone's setting up a new rose garden, what are your tips?
Very simple, Michael. First of all, find a spot where you get lots of sunlight, preferably full day, but at least a half a day. Secondly, find an area that's devoid of root competition from other plants, particularly trees. And then do your soil preparation well. Work in the compost early, a little bit of gypsum if your soil's a bit heavy, and then do that preparation in advance of planting a rose, and put the rose in, give it a drink of water, and away it'll go.
Now, that's great info on setting up a new rose garden, but is there a product you just can't do without?
Yes, Michael, that would be Sudden Impact for Roses, which was created with Neutrog by the Rose Society of South Australia, specifically for roses in this state.
Now, Kelvin, you helped produce the SA Life Rose Calendar. Did any of those beautiful photographs come from this garden?
Yes, they were. About 10 of the 12 roses in the calendar were from this garden and were photographed beautifully by Tony Lewis. The rose is a hard thing to photograph, and he did an excellent job.
Hey, just before we go, I've got another great tip from Kelvin. If you're trying to grow roses on a trellis like this, make sure you have an eye bolt and wire about 2 inches out, and then in winter, you actually wrap the canes around it and look at the result. Beautiful.